Hey, it's Paulie here on the Latino Slant. I have a bunch of new trailers to catch up with you guys. I got some experts. We're going to do this. We're going to do it right. Have some fun. Thank you to all who have donated, who are going to donate. Hit the super thanks and enjoy the video. What's happening, everyone? Paulie, the Latino Slant. It's been a minute in regards to catching up with so much TV action in regards to Latino programming. It seems this year the trend are Latino shows happening, not so much Latino movies like last year. Last year was a juggernaut, and hopefully not an anomaly. But this year we're having a lot of great shows with Latino themes, Lincoln Lawyer, Undone, and now we have a few other ones. But I don't want to do this alone. I can't do this alone. I'm only one Latino expert. I have two other. Just when you think Latino, you think of these two. When you think Down for Brown, you think of these two. When you think Latinx, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Here we go. Let's bring in Six. Let's bring in Tom.
You totally mucked that up.
It's okay.
I am Down for Brown.
Orale, orale. Woo, I love that. I love that.
The two whitest people on YouTube. Here we are.
Hey, you're my friends.
Yes, definitely.
There's a rumor about that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at all these rumors. Everywhere.
So what do you got for us today?
Okay, all right. I have a comedy trailer of a TV show on HBO Max. One on Hulu. I think it's a movie on Hulu. And then I have a documentary that's coming to HBO Max or Netflix. Either way, either way, it's we're gonna go from we're gonna hit the Caribbean, we're gonna hit Mexico, we're gonna hit LA, and then back to the Caribbean. What do you think of that?
Sounds
Sure.
good. I love documentaries.
I need a trip.
Okay.
Yeah. I need a vacation.
Okay, this is a Deadline story, and this is the Gordita Chronicles. Do you guys have any idea what the word Gordita
from Taco
means?
Bell.
Yeah, they rock.
Well,
I take it means something else.
It does mean something else, and we're just gonna play the trailer because in the trailer it explains it. This is executive produced by Zoe Saldana and Eva Longoria. It's set for HBO Max comedy. The time is 1985, but let's do this. Can you guys see this?
Yep.
Excellent. All right. This is called Gordita Chronicles, and no, it's not food, but kind of connected to. What happened here? All right. This is let's check it out, and then we'll get your.
Is this the comedy?
This is a comedy TV show coming on HBO Max June 23rd, I believe. Okay, here we go.
Santo Domingo will always be home for us.
But only for a few more days because we are soon going to have a gorgeous new home in Miami.
If we don't go home, I'll die or run away. The song said America the Beautiful. I think they oversold it.
Girls, give America a chance. What do you say?
Everybody here looks like Madonna. Even the boys.
Hey, I'm Chad. Watch where you're going, Fatso.
Fatso means gordita.
Here.
Thanks.
Our two girls will have the perfect American childhood.
I miss a traditional Dominican breakfast.
How about a traditional American one instead?
Cuatro egg McMuffin.
Y un apple pie. What? It's fruit.
Okay.
It's fruit.
This is your full week salary after taxes.
This feels like I'm being mugged.
Don't I know?
For a country that calls itself land of the free, this place sure is expensive.
I need $20. Oh, claro. Here, hold this. Now move it back and forth for like 10 hours and you got a deal.
We want to give the girls the life we came here for.
Don't worry.
My new friends at school are all perfect with their expensive clothes and expensive necklaces.
I think I forgot how hard it is to make friends in a new place.
Thanks for coming by. I had a really nice time.
Why are you dressed like me? Let's go paint our nails to see the same exact things as each other. Oh, stop it! I hate you.
That little girl is adorable.
Yeah, this actually looks kind of cute.
When you move here, it doesn't matter who you were. You start over.
No matter what country we're in, we have a great life.
We are the Castelli family.
I'll be back by 10.
9. And if you get kidnapped, call Ashley's mom. She has more money than us.
Nice.
They have a dishwasher that's not their children.
All right.
Actually looks pretty cute.
That is cute. I liked how the little girls, their accent kind of went in and out.
I didn't pay attention to that aspect.
When they
but
in this scene right there that's on the screen, their accents
Okay.
were like
I like
stayed on.
didn't feel like they were shoving some woke shit down my throat, but yet they could still do some social commentary in there and it feel like natural.
Well, it's 1985. They're
Exactly,
immigrants
like
from the
yeah, and
Dominican,
they're
so
immigrants, so that works into the story.
There's going to be
exactly.
culture clash. But what's your first reaction?
I thought it was funny. It was cute. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
I could see it being a standard sitcom in the 80s, but it will probably work better as this one camera comedy kind of deal they have going here. I think it'll work. Of course, 80s nostalgia pieces are all the rage right now, so you have that aspect of it. But again, like I said, I don't feel like I'm having some agenda shoved down my throat. All the the cultural elements feed into the story, so that's great about it. And like you said, the clash and all that I think it can be funny. And of course, there's things in there that they manage to put jokes in that it doesn't matter where you're from, you can still relate to them, right? Like that's my whole point about being able to make something that's for everybody, but still tell the story that's needed for the characters involved, and you can learn more about another culture without it feeling like an agenda. And that's what I feel like I got here, something that was natural, and it's kind of nice to see. It's refreshing.
6.
Yeah, it looks like it was made back in the 80s. I mean, I understand it takes place in the 80s, but if somebody told me that this show had come out in the 80s, I would believe them because they've got it
Exactly,
perfectly
yeah.
done. I unfortunately still own a pair of earrings that looks very similar to what one of the little girls was wearing, but
really?
yeah, I don't like to throw things away because I'm just waiting for the 80s to make a comeback. I grew up in the 80s, and so this is my favorite decade. I love the mom. She's funny. She's not one of those moms who tries to be the best friend, and she doesn't try to be the ultimate comedian with her kids. And but it's cute. I would 100%
The vacuum
watch
bit
this.
was good.
Yeah, that was cute. I'm gonna watch, and this part right here. I love this little girl. She's adorable, and I can't stand children. But I'm gonna watch the pilot. I like it.
Well, 6 has a point. Like kids can come off one way or the other, right? And in this trailer so far, this kid works, and she clearly is the center of the show. So that's important.
Well, coming off of other shows that have lacking of kid talent, or just it's debatable whether they're good or not. Leia. This kid actor is so charming.
Well, I think it goes more with the stuff she has to work with, right? Because I don't want to say anything about the actress who plays Leia, but I will say she doesn't have much to work with. This kid obviously has some good stuff to work with.
That's you're true. That's not fair of me. You're right, and I think you are defending Disney Star Wars right now, which is really hard.
Nah, I'm defending a kid.
I know.
I think there's a difference.
No. We're talking kid casting.
No, I know you're
What
giving me
meant
shit,
it's
but yeah,
so catching that lightning in a bottle is so tough with these kid actors.
absolutely. That's the thing, and to find a kid that has enough charm to come across like this on screen, it's hard to find, especially in a kid, because at this age that she's playing here, they can come off overly obnoxious, right? Because it's easy to make a kid under the age of, like, say 8, 9, 10. It's easy when they're that much younger than that, like when they're 4, 5, 6. It's easy to make them cutesy, right? Like look at Full House as a great example.
Yeah.
Or when they get to be a teenager, you can play more into the humor or whatever, the awkwardness of a teenager. When they're at this period, it's the hardest time to make a kid likable, because there's so many aspects, especially if you're a parent, because this is that awkward point before, you know, that preteen age, getting into teenage years. It's like that, you kid, you just don't get it, you know. Like, but this kid obviously has a sense of humor, a great sense of timing, which plays into the great writing, evidently. So whoever, I seen Zoe Saldana was one of the producers, I think, in the opening
Her
bit
and
there.
Eva Longoria, the executive.
Eva
producers.
Longoria was the other one. Okay,
yeah.
And she's charming and adorable, and not in any way precocious.
So obviously it's revolved around her. It's called the Gordita Chronicles, and we'll play this little scene again. The definition of a gordita is little fatty. And
gotcha.
Well, that pissed me off when that kid called her fatso. I love her enough already that pissed me off.
Right, but you know, so what I'm curious to see is in the Latin community is that, you know, in the Latin families, that's, we call each other stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, it'd be like one of my relatives calling me Porky.
Or right. So I'm curious to see how they're going to play off that comedy, because sometimes there's, as you know, the family dynamic can be dysfunctional. But let's play this little scene again, and then we'll go on. But so it's all going to fall on this actor's performance. I think you're right.
Donna, even the boys.
Hey, I'm Chad. Watch where you're going, fatso.
Fatso means gordita, gordita. Here.
Thanks.
I love that.
Two girls will have.
Well, I love that. Like the translator. There's obviously another Dominican or Latino. He's like, "Fatso means gordita, gordita." It's like, oh shit, good stuff. So, based on this, would you see at least the trailer?
Oh, I've already seen the trailer.
I mean, no, sorry. I mean the pilot. I know. Sorry.
If I had the time in my schedule, I might give it a shot. Yeah.
I'm definitely going to watch the trailer. I mean,
You guys
gosh darn
watched
it.
I know.
The
yeah,
pilot.
I did it too.
Yeah. I'm
did it
definitely
too.
going to watch the pilot because I really like that little girl.
And do you guys have HBO Max?
I do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, that is, what do you guys think? In the chat, let us know right now. Now we're gonna go to our next one, and I appreciate Tom at Midnight's Edge, 6 being here. Appreciate your time. Thank you guys for hanging out with me.
Thank you for the invite.
So the next one is an American production with a very famous Mexican actor. His name is Eugenio Derbez. He is a comedian actor. Think of Jim Carrey, but beloved by the entire Latin America. Think of Cantinflas, the big physical actors. This is Eugenio.
Well, he's got to sell it to me. So here we go.
Yeah. I won't say anything else. You're right. I won't say. Let's just play it. It's called The Valet. It's already out on Hulu. So it's just we're playing a little catch up here, guys. But I'm really glad to be doing this with y'all. All right, here we go.
Look, GT. Actually, I prefer the Q4. Better turning radius.
We get a little more volume.
Yes, sir. I can't do that.
Oh, never mind. Sorry.
Olivia, please don't go out front. There's paparazzi. You're being reckless.
Call me when you're divorced.
Are you all right?
People are looking.
Sorry. I never thought I would get hit by a parked car.
No.
Earhart opens in 5 days. I can't have this getting out there.
What if we find the other guy in the photo and you pretend to be a couple?
I'll do it.
Olivia Allen is gonna go out with me? The famous actress?
Yes.
The beautiful one?
Yes.
With me?
Correct.
With my sister? Put you up to this? You got me.
Showtime.
Get ready,
Antonio, say something I'm gonna laugh really hard.
I don't understand.
Are you some kind of sex god, Antonio?
I'm not a sex god.
Damn. Go, boy.
What's happening here?
Mi hijo está saliendo en la tele, elegante como su madre. Antonio, this is your first premiere, right?
¿Qué le pasa? ¿Por qué pone cara de menso?
What do you see in the mirror? He's decent and kind.
I love you. I'm famous too.
Which is surprisingly hard to find.
This is a movie or a series?
I think it's a movie.
I'm gonna say.
Get her back. Now you get jealous.
Maybe we'll both get what we want out of this insanity. Oh my God.
What?
He's here. Oh God, no.
Nothing happened.
What?
And I slept in my pants. See?
Picture?
That don't look too bad. Looks like a fairly decent rom-com.
Yeah. 6.
That the actor playing the valet, he looks twice as old as the actress.
That I noticed.
I'm not familiar with the actor. The actress looks familiar, but
well, she's a weaving. I think she was in
okay.
What's that? It was a Nicole Kidman TV show recently where Nicole's like the
not Samara Weaving, but the other one, or
no, this same actress.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of which one it would be then.
The only one I could... Well, she's been around, right? She's been around. I think this is Hugo's daughter, right?
Well, Samara was his niece.
Okay, all right.
I believe.
Looks like a cute premise.
It's a cute premise. I mean, I think it's been done before in some movies.
I was gonna say, didn't Cheech kind of do this with that one movie? Was it kind of a similar, not the same plot, but was it Shrimp on the Barbie or whatever?
I never saw that one, man.
Okay, well, it's been so many years. I'm trying to remember because I thought that had kind of a. But no, I could see, like, even if it wasn't, what makes it work for me, I guess, is the way to put it, is I could see like Adam Sandler or Eddie Murphy or somebody like that in the same role, or Kevin Hart, for that fucking matter. That would be normally the one they would probably put in something like this. But no, I don't know this guy, but he seems okay. Based off of him in the trailer, it's not something I would normally get into, but I mean, I guess 6 would be the person to ask more, because this is clearly trying to aim more towards that female demographic rom-com crowd. So
I don't buy the two of them together. It's not. I don't think it's a good.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good casting match. They don't fit. It's not believable at all.
Yeah, I think this. Speaking of like Adam Sandler, I was going to say this actually might have been a better served story had it been like Adam Sandler with what's her face, Courtney Cox or somebody like that, or not Courtney Cox, which is the one he always does stuff with. The other one, Jennifer Aniston.
Jennifer Aniston.
Oh.
Like she could play basically like herself almost in the movie, and then like him be the normal everyday schlub, getting wrapped up in this whirlwind. I mean, I like the idea.
Yeah.
But the trailer only made me chuckle like twice, so.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd actually go out of my way to watch this. Yeah.
Right.
I think when he was the valet, if he had a different look, because when he's dressed up at the premiere, he kind of looks exactly the same. You know, there didn't seem to be a transformation for him to be on the red carpet.
He needs more of a personality too. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. I mean, that was funny when he had that same dumb look on his face when the cameras were on him and his mom was watching him on TV.
That was cute.
Yeah,
that was, but that joke only kind of works if he would have been like, talkative all the time and saying the wrong shit all the time. Then the joke is extra funny when the moment is for him to actually say something. See, that's the thing, is he comes off like a Mr. Bean throughout too much of it for me. Does that make sense?
I love Mr. Bean.
I do too, but for me to make it work, like you need that Cheech kind of personality. Like, to me, it doesn't seem like he's the problem. Like, you need that personality clash. Like, the whole thing is you don't want... It seems like too easy for these two to be put together, and you can already kind of predict how it's going to end. Mm-hmm. And even though they don't have any chemistry within the trailer, like you're saying, 6, I can just tell you from Hollywood, what I know from their storytelling, those two are going to wind up together at the end of the film.
Oh, definitely.
That's how these meet cute rom-coms work, right? Mm-hmm. That's the whole point. So, like, if you're going to do this, you need a clash of a personality, like a younger Cheech Marin up against... Like, put in whatever Sharon Stone or whatever at that time in the 80s would have been a perfect setup for something like this. Because Cheech knows how to play that, I'm a typical LA, suburban guy dealing with this fucking, I'm fish out of water. Haha. He knows how to play with that. He knows how to play that up to where I don't know if this guy does or not. I can't say that. I have not seen enough of his stuff, but going from this trailer, off of what I said before, he didn't personally sell it for me. I like the premise, though. I do like the premise.
Well, Eugenio has such a big following that I'm wondering if this script wasn't meant for someone else, and then they just, maybe Eugenio picked it up. He was in Coda.
Yeah, see, this does feel like something that would be for like Kevin James or somebody like that, even.
He played the music teacher in the movie Coda that just won all the big awards. He's a very versatile actor. This seems to me a little low end for him. This is like,
I'm not even a Kevin James fan, but he would have worked better even because you look at it that way.
Yeah, Kevin James was believable in Hitch.
Well, he plays the numbers really easily, like those.
He can play the lovable schlub, exactly. I think.
Because the two movies that I'm thinking of in this scenario with a famous person and then a regular Joe, Notting Hill and which I've seen a lot. One movie that just came out was that I didn't see was J-Lo's "Marry Me" with Owen Wilson.
I don't know how well that's doing, but I mean, as far as the other side of this, I'm glad to see a nice return to traditional rom-com.
Right.
I mean, it didn't feel like there was a big bunch of, again, like the last trailer. I didn't feel like I was being fed a bunch of agenda in this trailer. So yeah.
You're probably onto something because everything I'm showing you, and including Father of the Bride with Andy Garcia, which is coming out on HBO Max, it's all very. I think what we're getting is either that traditional entertainment or old-fashioned and new generation kind of duking it out with jokes, like Lopez versus Lopez, which is coming out. Which is coming out soon, and it's about George Lopez and and his old ways set to his daughter's new progressive ways, which would hopefully have some good laughs. But I think you're onto something. I think the programming is onto something because the programming, and I'm talking about like the shows that have main Latino actors, writers, directors, right? Themed. They vaulted to another level on television where it's not just a show about issues. It is about common experiences or, like you said, just scatological, situations like the Valet, which.
Well, right, and I have nothing against culture being a part of the show. Like, look, one of my favorite films of all time is The Godfather. If you were to take the Italian culture out of that film, it wouldn't be the same. Same thing with La Bamba being, with the Latino culture in the background that it has to it. Same difference there. You can use that, and that's what that first trailer did specifically, and I'm glad to see the absence of in this second trailer because it's not making a big point of this guy being, oh, he's this Latino guy, he's that Latino. Normally in the woke culture nowadays, they would make a bigger deal out of that outside of him just being a fish out of water in this scenario.
Well,
right?
Remember, guys, we're just judging these off trailers.
That's the beauty of it. Exactly. They may have it, but the scenario works without his cultural background being a big part of it, right?
Yep.
It does play into that first trailer, but it felt organic. That's my point. And the lack of it here to where it's like, this, you know what? I would love to give this guy a chance. I'm not saying I'm going to watch this movie, but you're right. Because looking at this trailer, I feel like anybody could be plugged into this scenario. It doesn't matter what his cultural background is. That's what I'm talking about. You have the two of both scenarios here. You have the one scenario where it's, yes, we're going to get into the cultural background, but guess what? It's organic to the storytelling. It's going to play into the storytelling. It's going to be a big part of the storytelling, but we're not going to preach to you. We're going to have some fun with it, and we're going to bring you along for the ride, and hopefully you enjoy it, which is why I love things like La Bamba, which I pointed out before, like when it comes to that aspect of it. Now, when you're talking about this second one, like I said, the other aspect is the beauty of it is the fact that he has a Hispanic or Latino background, whatever, however you want to put it, has nothing to do with the fucking character. Not a goddamn thing. Right?
Well,
so that's the beauty of it. Right. Exactly.
The situation is that in LA, valets are mainly Latino, and then you have this, movie star. No, it's a great situation.
Well, the beauty of it is too is even if this is the way, I don't even know if this is the way the original script went, but at least the way that the trailer's letting us know, and this was all accidental. He wasn't her valet to begin with. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't her. He was just a valet. He just happens to be a fucking valet driver. That just plays into the role. That's my point. So it's not just because he's Hispanic that is why he's a valet. That just happens to be a part of the story. If they had played that aspect into it, like she had treated him like shit and dirt all this time or something like that, and then this just happened to work out that they got this photo with them two in a precarious position thinking they're dating or something, and then it's set off that way, that's when I would feel like, okay, this movie's fucking preaching to me and I don't like it.
Yeah, didn't he ride his bicycle into a parked car?
He's just, it was just all accidental. Exactly.
Yeah.
Happenstance.
That was a good line. He's like, I never thought I'd run into a parked car. And I don't know if you caught that, but I was just like, oh, that's funny.
I mean, there were some good chuckles in it, but
Well, and then we'll move on. But my last thing is, I hope some of those laughs don't get garbled because of his English, because it's not his first language, and he's incredibly funny in Spanish, But sometimes it's just a different animal. It's just a different animal. That's probably the hardest thing is to do comedy, spoken comedy in a different language, like you're speaking a different language,
right?
He definitely looks like a fish out of water because he doesn't seem to fit in with the cast. He doesn't seem to fit in with the background. He doesn't even seem to fit in with his own family when they're at his apartment or their house.
So you just weren't buying it.
I'd like to see him in. He's obviously the standout. He is the one where my eye is drawn to.
He's the star.
But I think my eye is drawn to him because he doesn't fit in. He doesn't fit in with. It's almost like he's shot with a different type of lens or something. He just like he was placed into this, like plucked out of a different movie and placed into this one because there was another man in the show who's on a TV sitcom. Some guy, some white guy with dark hair. I can't remember. I don't know the name of the show. I've never seen it, but he's not even. He's the one that I recognized, but he doesn't even draw my eye. I think it's not a great script for him.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, I like the premise. I think Six perked up when I brought up Kevin James and some other people. I think you need somebody with a bit more of a. Even I hate to say this, even like a Larry the Cable Guy, that's what you need.
I know that Kevin James is hilarious, and so I don't know this actor before. Maybe if I had seen this actor in something else, I think
that might be. I think that's kind of handicapping you guys because you don't know this guy.
That's unfortunately the truth. Yeah,
and there's nothing wrong with that.
That's fair.
But you are. Let's just say, hey, I'm bored. I'm on Hulu. What's this? Who's this guy?
I think they just needed to give us a little bit more as to why. And again, this has nothing to do even with the actor. It's more of a writing choice because they could have done that. But what I'm saying is you have to give her a reason not to want to really be around this guy more than just he's a valet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And because he's too quiet in these other scenes, he may have more to say in the movie. I hope he does because he's good with his timing, right? And that's why I kind of compared him to Mr. Bean. He does have that kind of comedic timing with the the looks and the few oddball expressions and all that stuff, and I would, if I was stuck for 90 minutes and had nothing else to watch but this
right
and Captain Marvel or something like that, I'd probably watch this.
I want to see a movie about him and his coworkers.
That looks kind of funny, maybe. Yeah.
I mean,
and the family.
I think there's a lot of scenarios here to where my thing is too is it looks like this. He's comes from a mixed family, half are Asian, half are Mexican,
something like that. And that might play into the movie. They're just not getting into it in the trailer though. But I don't know.
Yeah, Antonio El Valet. Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh, so that's his last name too. Or he's just the valet because it's probably some joke that they didn't get his last name.
They just oh, that's in vivo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's some good. Yeah. And I think you're right too. It's give us some good laughs, man.
He's growing on me.
Entertain us. Okay, let's move on to the last one.
Okay.
You said
I want to
anus.
know, do you guys like to dance?
Oh, I love to dance.
In private.
Well, maybe that might do later on for a karaoke stream or a private stream. I
You
don't
ain't
know,
seeing
Tom.
it.
Or maybe one for 6, but they made another nostalgic Latino thing for you from producer
Okay.
Alex Fumero.
Is this Menudo?
This is the Menudo.
Oh, okay.
You're a Menudo
Oh my
fan.
gosh, listen to
I
her.
was a huge Menudo fan. Like
Wow.
tons of their records. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
And-
I
and-
am so excited right
And,
now.
yeah, and let us just say again, all these three, they know nothing of what this is your first time seeing these,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, I have not seen the trailer. I
Right.
meant to. I saw there was a headline or something I saw on Twitter, but I haven't read anything about it and I haven't watched the trailer yet.
Yeah. So from HBO Max, and again, Tom, I think these guys took lessons from the Wokoso TV shows in the last couple of years that got canceled, and the programming is on point, man. They're hitting a lot of huge buttons with their programming. I think it's, to me, I'm more fascinated that I've never seen anything like this, Tom. Not the Menudo, but the innovative programming. Okay, well, let's play it. Let's make sure we have the sound.
Well, let's just say I'm aware of Menudo. I'm not a huge fan. They're okay. I have nothing against them.
Puerto
So it's
Rican
up to
boy
this
band.
trailer. Yeah,
Puerto
it's-
Rican
well,
boy band. Here we go.
Yeah, it's up to this trailer to sell them to me.
Let's have a real big welcome for
Menudo.
Oh, it's Jerry Lewis.
There's Ray.
See, I'm all over here excited about Jerry Lewis.
Adopted a fountain of youth strategy. The individual members
There's
are
Roy.
simply replaced once they reach the age of 16.
Oh my god.
Ricky. I remember
They
Ricky.
were the first
Oh
boy
my
band because the
God.
formula wasn't already there. They had these massive pop hits that were internationally popular. That is something that Menudo taught us boy bands could do.
It's called Menuditis.
Nosotros teníamos una avenida paralizada en Nueva York.
The Puerto Rican community was invisible to English language media.
Y de pronto llegan 5 chicos puertorriqueños rompiendo con todo ese estereotipo, cantando español.
And you're like, oh my God, these kids are like me. Such a sense of pride. And that was just so freaking magical.
There were a lot of good things that came out of Menudo, but there was a price to pay for that magic.
Ooh.
None of us were really prepared for what it was really going to be like. There was no interest in protecting us. We felt vulnerable.
I remember being in Brazil and finding myself in a room of these older men asking me if I'm already liking sex.
Oh,
What's
Jesus.
customs doing with you? How many drugs? Well, we never do that.
I started throwing up blood. I could have died. If it was going to cost me my life, I'd rather not be famous and live.
Whoa.
Menudo was a beautiful thing that came out of a not so beautiful situation.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's what it was.
Menudo opened up the possibility that
Robbie
this
Rosa.
is something we can aspire to.
La historia de Menudo will live on forever.
Well, sadly, it looks like it carries a lot of the same tropes as most of your VH1 behind the story type documentaries. But yeah,
I
guess
thought the
it's-
sad part, I knew there was going to be a sad part, but I thought it was just going to be about how when they turned like 16 or 18 or something.
Well, we
that
already
they got-
know that.
They
We
got
already
kicked
know
out of
that.
the band. I didn't know there was going to be drugs.
And you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
recognize
Abuse.
the kid here in the front right?
Sort of.
Ricky
Yeah.
Martin.
Yeah.
That's Ricky
Ricky
Martin on the front
Martin.
right?
Ricky Martin. I'm
Or
looking
the
at,
front
sorry,
left?
front left.
Oh, yeah.
Front left.
I was gonna say on the right. I'm not so sure, but
I didn't know he was in Menudo.
oh, you didn't know what? You lie.
I swear, I didn't.
Are
why
you
would
kidding
I
me?
lie?
I'm not even a fan. Like you were sitting here squeeing like 5 minutes ago.
So this is this is Ricky Martin, and then over here is Robbie Rosa.
I gotta thank that motherfucker for living La Vida
On the
Loca.
left is Ray.
Okay.
can't
So
remember the
I know
kid.
Robbie's story a little bit. Robbie Rosa kind of defected, and he's had an acclaimed solo career, and he wrote "Living La Vida Loca" for Ricky.
Yeah.
Really?
Robbie Rosa has worked with.
And say I've heard
lot-
his name come up quite often.
Yeah, his music is amazing. I mean, his music I still listen to this day. Okay,
well, here's a
thoughts?
testimony to that damn song. When I worked in radio, I worked at an AC country station.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, when we get new songs in there, we'd get these discs and they'd be a collection of songs, and we work them in the rotation about 3 times a day, depending on the disc. Sometimes 2, sometimes 1. When the disc with Livin' La Vida Loca came in on it, that sucker got thrown into rotation right away, several times over. Even though we didn't, that was one of the rare times we didn't play all the other songs. They told us specifically that song's in heavy rotation. I never had that happen when I worked at. And being that that's an AC country station, that says a lot.
What is
it?
AC
Just shows
country?
the impact. Adult contemporary.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, easy listening type shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I
like if I could play John Mellencamp, I could play like Pink Houses, but I could not play like It Hurts So Good. You know what I mean? Like there's where the line's drawn.
Wow, this is so taking me back. Some of these guys I don't know at all. Well, the 90s I wouldn't. I was way over.
Right. That's when they kind of.
But no, as far as Menudo, like this looks interesting, and this is what's great about these kind of streaming services is you can take a deep dive into these bands and boy groups, and especially Menudo, who has a huge history behind it, as you said. And again, the history precedes the group for me more than the songs themselves. But they bring up an interesting point. They were kind of almost ignored to the point where you couldn't ignore them anymore, right? Like that's kind of what it was. It was music wise.
What I'm getting to from the story, there's gonna be some dark shit that I don't want to see.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
Well, that's part of the game sometimes, unfortunately, and if that's the way it is, you may want to avoid the documentary. I bet.
No, so. I mean, I totally want to see this. Absolutely, I want to review it. I'm a fan of this producer. He did another one called Mucho Mucho Amor, the Walter Miranda. He was that astrological guy, had the big flowing blonde hair from Puerto Rico. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
Mm-mm.
He was like, he started the Walter Mercado. Anyways, this producer does really good docs, and what are your thoughts here? You guys would you guys see this one?
As soon as I heard about it, which was a while ago, I 100% planned on seeing it, and I've been meaning to send an article about it to my sister because she was also a huge fan. Like I had a purple monkey named Ray because he was my favorite. This is just crazy that I'm sitting here.
Wow, it is
watching
crazy.
This trailer with you guys.
Well, that just shows you how huge these guys were.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna watch. Is it out now?
It is out. It looks like it's out June 23rd. HBO Max. Okay. Menudo Forever Young. All right. So let's wrap it up and let's go around. We'll start with 6. What I'll do is you give me a best, 1 out of 10, 10 being absolutely the best. What's your excitement level on seeing the first one, Gordita Chronicles?
Oh, a pleasantly surprised 7.
And Tom?
A rating like that? Yeah, of all of these, I think the one that I would probably watch first would be that the Gordita one, Gordita Chronicles.
Yeah. I would say it's a really strong 8 for me. It looks like it's
7, 8. Yeah.
It looks produced really well. It has elements. It has the making of a Wonder Years done right.
Yeah, kind of a Wonder Years meets the Goldbergs kind of a thing. Yeah, with a little Latino twist.
Well,
or slant, should I say?
And the fact that it's not from East LA, like it's somewhere else in the country, I appreciate because I'm so sick of.
Well, yeah, because like that part of the country was also overlooked as far as like, because you're right, like a lot of these like stories generally take place in LA. So yeah, that's a bit refreshing and different too.
And the Valet, 1 out of 10, 6.
Oh, 3. I'm not gonna watch it.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
I probably won't watch it, but I would give it probably more of like a 5 or a 6. It looks like it could be an interesting premise. I'm just not sold on the cast.
I would say for me, I would say a 6. I would say a 6. And the Menudo, which one would you give that 6?
Oh, that's an 8. I'm definitely gonna watch it. I'm definitely gonna share it with family. I'm gonna probably go on YouTube as soon as we're done recording this and look up some of their songs and see if any of them sound familiar. And I know I still own the records.
There you go.
So yeah.
Sube a mi moto.
For me, I'll probably not
I can
watch
remember.
it, but
yeah.
I can remember. This is how dumb I used to be.
Yeah.
I can remember holding up the record album and tilting it to see if I could look down Ray's shirt.
Nice. Nice. We love a little toxic femininity here.
Yeah.
TM.
Tom?
As if that would work.
Well, it's not like men haven't tried that with Playboys and shit. Seriously.
Well, this is Born in East LA. Remember, he was like,
yeah, he's like trying to look down. Yeah. Again, I'm not necessarily gonna jump to watch the Menudo documentary, and I won't rate it because I didn't get any kind of vibe out of it that they're necessarily lying about anything. It's all people from their firsthand accounts. So I refuse to give it a rating because, to me, you can't give a rating to the truth. Right? It's a 10 out of 10, or however you want to put it. Like it's you can't.
I just meant more your excitement level.
I mean, as far as an excitement level, I'm glad for the fans. Like, I love to hear Six's excitement.
That was crazy.
I know that they're a popular band or a popular group or whatever you want to call them. I hate calling them a band, but yeah, it's gonna serve the purpose for the crowd that are huge fans of it, and it might even make a lot of new fans. It's just not. I'm not that big of a Menudo fan to where I'm gonna seek it out. But again, as long as it's done well with love and honesty, then that's all I can say for a documentary. As long as they're done well, that's all I care about. And honest.
Well, I'm really excited to see it. Probably an 8 for me, just as far as it definitely it vaulted up for me when I was watching it, and then when you saw some of these stories from some of these men that looked really tortured, I was like, whoa, I never knew that.
Well, it sounds like they were running it like a factory, so.
Well, no, that part I knew. I'm just talking about what they're alluding to in the trailer.
Well, what do you think is going to happen? You're a fucking rock star with millions of girls screaming after you. I mean,
yeah, but your kids and who was protecting
well,
them?
We know what happened to the Jackson 5 and all that happened. You know, that's the thing is this is to me. I know you guys are acting all shocked, but to me, like this is the same old story, same old song and dance. I'm my friend because we've heard this, especially from. You know, these boy bands or younger kid groups.
See,
there's a price to fame, yeah.
That's not normal to me. Maybe I have my head in the sand. You know,
I've watched too much VH1 Behind the Music.
Yeah.
So.
my favorite band, Duran Duran. I used to name all my animals after them, and I've had a lot of animals. And as soon as I found out about the drugs and the groupies, I haven't named one animal after them or any of their songs since then because I was just like, what? There's no way that happens. And I know that, you know, maybe it's the way that I grew up or just different choices that I made, but I think I know I've been a little innocent in that. I
love that farm girl innocence.
Yeah, we all like that.
But that's not normal to me. I'm shocked when I hear about things like that because I don't understand how people can let that kind of stuff happen to other people.
It's a scary world out there.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, I want to thank Tom. I want to thank Six.
Yeah, no problem.
That was fun.
Yeah.
You know, let's do it again soon. People, what do you guys think? Comment.
I'll tell you what, I might actually watch that Gordita show, and I know I never would have before this, so there you go.
Well, you know, why don't we come back and at least review the Gordita?
If I do, yes.
Yeah.
That might be fun. Is
it like a half-hour comedy show or?
That's a great question.
Did you say that it's out now?
I'm pretty sure it's a half-hour comedy.
It is.
I don't know if it's out now. I think he meant the Valet was out.
It is out June 23rd. Right. The Valet is out. The one people don't want to see that much.
That one kind of bothers me because I wish I knew more about the actor because then maybe I could have got more into the trailer. Because I don't even like Adam Sandler or any of the other people I really named outside of Cheech. But That's the thing, is the movie needed somebody like that, though. Like, that's why I said, dare I even say, like, Larry the Cable Guy. That's basically what you need, is like if Rodney Dangerfield, if they made this movie 30 years ago, Rodney Dangerfield would have been who I'd pick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. You need, like, the absolute opposite of what an A-list actress would pick for her boyfriend, right? Like, that's the whole point of it. It's, yeah. Or Randy Quaid before he went nuts.
Well, to the Latino audience, Eugenio Derbez is not the hunk actor.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think what I'm lacking is a familiarity with the actor.
See, you sold him as a Jim Carrey. If you'd have sold him more as an Adam Sandler, then maybe I could have saw it better.
Well, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, well, not Jim Carrey, the looks, you know.
But the physical comedy, see, but that to me doesn't sell the idea they're trying to sell, and that's what I'm getting at. Is that and again, I don't know enough about this actor. I don't want to make it sound like I'm trying to put him down. I just feel like they picked the wrong personality for this type of story. Because if you had gotten somebody who could really dig their teeth into something like that, even like a Paul Hogan type, somebody like, you know what I mean? Somebody who is clearly a fish out of water in this scenario, right? And somebody who, you know, an A-list actress would not want to be caught fucking dead with because they're quote unquote an embarrassment. That's where the meet cute comes into play. And when they actually do form some type of bond later in the film, it becomes more rewarding, because the way I see it now, it's making her come off as kind of a smug bitch, but he just comes off to me like a Mr. Bean type, and that to me is not going to sell. I wouldn't put Mr. Bean in a movie like this. That's my point.
He's not dorky enough, and he's not unattractive enough.
Exactly. Like you got to get somebody who's not revolting, but at least abrasive.
Yeah.
Right.
So with the Gordita Chronicles, it's 10 episodes, half hour each.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch the pilot.
Yeah.
That's kind of doable.
Yeah, I think that's good. It's because
I will remind me, and I will try to watch the pilot.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. We'll see you soon. Let us know your thoughts.
Bye.
And,
yeah, leave a comment, because I want to know what other people think about Menudo.
All right. Yeah. Menudo, I like.
Isn't that a soup?
It is soup, but that's a different
chopped up pieces
Mexican,
of little
not
boys.
Puerto Rican.
What?
Bye, guys. Thank you to all who have donated or are gonna donate. Hit the super thanks and enjoy the video.
Paulie with his sexy voice there.